Gordon!
What is it, Smithy?
Well, I've been testing out new methods of skimpy armor and...
Smithy?
Yes?
We're going to the land of the ice and snow.
Yes, I'm aware.
We don't need bikinis.
But...
maybe instead of fitting the same amount of power into less fabric, you should try putting more power in the normal amount of fabric.
Oh, is that all you guys wanted?
Yes!
That's easy. You should have just said. Greetings, humans. I am Lur of the planet Omicron Persei 8.
Sorry about that. Through the hour-long sit-down with the developers that we as a community were gifted recently, we have learned about many things Iceborne.
Impressive.
And while weapon balancing was a focus, so were skill changes, and arguably more importantly, quality of life changes, which covers everything from UI changes to online session search parameters. Starting off with the skills then, we have what looks to be a relatively major meta shift coming in Iceborne, with elemental caps being raised and non-elemental boost being nerfed down to a lower percentage. But then also a new skill that we will see that boosts elemental damage on repeat hits of a monster, which should stack well with a skill like, I don't know, critical element. So we have some real exciting potential builds in our icy future.
Damn, you looking good!
And every single one of these will be affected by at least one of the skill changes, the lesser ones of which I am about to rapidly list off like an auctioneer. Poison resistance no longer shortens overall time of poison, but now has reduced time between ticks. Stun resistance is up 30% on both level 1 and 2. Hunger resistance level 1 up 20%, level 2 up 40%. Iron skin up 20% on level 1 and 50% on level 2. Blight resistance up 20% on level 1 and 50% level 2. Entomologist wording has been changed to when slaying small insects, it will become easier to carve them instead of its old wording, which specified a high chance of corpse existing. I'm not sure if this is to prepare for some sort of new small monster, or they just don't like the word corpse. Tool specialist, which is arguably the first important skill here, is up 5% on rank 1 and 10% on ranks 2 and 3. Airborne has been buffed an indiscriminate amount. Crit status has been buffed an indiscriminate amount. Crit element has been buffed an indiscriminate amount. As mentioned earlier, non-elemental boost has been nerfed an indiscriminate amount. Defense boost from level 3 onwards is up 5 to 10% because this is the one section where they show numbers and decide to be purposefully non-specific. Heavy artillery goes up from 10% at level 1 to 50% and 20% at level 2 to 100%. We probably still won't use this skill often, but that is a massive number jump. Slugger has been given an extra 10% per rank, and Stamina Thief with the same extra 10% treatment. Spore Puff Expert is now Survival Expert and expands to both include Spore Puffs and Thaw Puffs, and also is being buffed, which considering Master Rank is coming and this is a non-percentage health-based skill makes sense. Cliffhanger Stamina Loss Reduction increased from 25% to 50% and also applies to grappling to a monster with your clutch claw. Agitator has been absolutely reamed with level 1 to 4 now only worth 5%, level 5 worth 10%, but apparently there are 2 more ranks for the skill in Master Rank that they haven't shown us yet. Weakness Exploit, as we already knew, is being nerfed down to 10%, 15%, and 30% per rank respectively, while the bracketed number is applied when attacking a tenderized monster part. Critical Eye has been buffed across the board, now 5% at level 1 and 40% at level 7. We are talking about level 1 jewels for the skill. They aren't the hardest to slot in, now they're worth so much more, especially with Weakness Exploit going the way that it has. Heroics has been pretty heavily reworked with a much heavier focus on defense, which makes sense with now having no attack boost at level 1 and only a 15% attack boost at level 5, and defense at plus 50 on level 1 and plus 100 on level 3 onwards. Aquatic Expert has been changed to Aquatic/Polar Mobility and now also applies to Deep Snow.
Oh man, that's deep.
Fortify got a simple bug fix, and Maximind has been mostly reworked with you now having to stand still for a period of time to activate it, though it does stay active for a period of time after stamina loss as well, except for the new level 5, which works the same as the old level 3. Flinch Free has been buffed!
Yay!
But specifically for Insect Glaive.
Yay!
Only when they have 3 extracts.
Yay!
And last but absolutely not least, Razor Sharp/Spare Shot is being nerfed an indiscriminate amount. Moving to mantles, they still sort of fit under the skill umbrella of thought.
So, what are you trying to say?
Temporal has been nerfed to actively chunk down the timer when auto-evading. Glider Mantle has a shorter cooldown, and Assassin's Hood now causes a monster to merely flinch when hit by a mid-air stealth attack instead of causing a full knockdown. On top of this, tiny damage should no longer remove mantles like Gilly or Challenger, and as someone who often tries to herd monsters into one zone, I really appreciate that. From this point on, there were a ton of mixed changes, like literally a 30-minute PowerPoint's worth of things happened here. So I'm just gonna cherry pick the things that I think you'll want to know the most, starting with random drop at the start of quests being changed. Now, it hasn't gone completely, but it is being changed to only drop you off in a high-tier gathering area or in front of the monster that's the target of the quest. So, you know, the way it worked in old games anyways. You can now select a preset return destination from quests in the settings, so you can automatically choose something like the Gathering Hub, or the Camp, or Astera, or even the new hub without having to fiddle with your stick after the quest. That's the official description of the controller's inputs. Do not at me. Near-death monsters will no longer fall asleep if you are a foot from their space, so please don't be the person who keeps a monster from sleeping with one fate left on the quest, because this will definitely definitely happen. And the way that flashing works in the game is going to be messed with a fair amount come Iceborne and the inclusion of Master Rank, as now all monsters will have an inbuilt flash resistance system that works sort of like the way our tempered one works to start with. Less and less effectiveness until they just stop working, but the big difference, and the one that makes this really cool, is that it resets. So flashes will start working normally again if you take a bit of a break from them. And because the reset is based on time between flashes, you can also just wait a bit between your initial flashes and never even notice that there is a flash reduction in the first place. We now have colorblind settings for the UI, the ability to make your player have a glowing silhouette when behind a monster on your screen, and a setting based on character name display, though whether this option will let you remove names completely might just be a pipe dream of mine. Hunting Horn now has an option to show melodies while your weapon is sheathed, which is a fantastic doot-based tool. A randomized setting is now available in the character creator, as well as the little bars that you use to customize your character now having numbers, so you can share your creations and let other people copy you just that little bit easier. A take all button on the reward screen is going to be added to the consoles. Our item box is going to get bigger, as well as us getting more saved loadout slots for items, equipment, and layered armor, because layered armor can be saved entirely separately from normal armor, all the way down to saving different colors for when the layered is on and off of your set. Checkmarks will be added next to the already crafted charms on the smithy list, which for a smart person is negligible, but for someone with a terrible memory like me will probably save me a fair bit of materials and zenny. And the smithy now has an option to remove all decorations. Ugh, I've been wanting one of those for a while. Nothing can stop me from melding every single jewel in Iceborne. What about power? Not even power. Oh. The Third Fleet Research Base will now have smithy and resource center NPCs to make it a viable hub type location, and the resource center has been improved to let you store and accept more investigations at a time, as well as the addition of a button to delete all unregistered investigations. Wrapping up this massive showcase of massive things, then we have Hunter Helper, which is a new system that allows master rank or high rank hunters to help out high and low rank hunters complete their quests, and also provides the helper with some actually pretty decent rewards, with the examples shown being a silver Wyverian print and a gold Wyverian print. And finally, the big one, the thing you've all been expecting since you opened this video, the thing that we all have to talk about. Life Powder now sells for 190 zenny instead of 310. I know, right? Insane! Alright everyone, these have been a massive pile of changes concerning skills, mantles, and tons of quality of life changes coming with the Iceborne update September 6th. Are you happy with the modified skills? Do you like the new selling price of Life Powder? Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. This is the brand new outro to tell you all the things that you do that we love, so let's start with something simple and say, oh, we love your eyes. When they're watching us play video games, we make a bunch of jokes that are kinda lame, or when they gaze upon our failures as we try to kill the monsters or report important news about the Kingdom Animalia. Rage, Continent, Hollow, we're all here, talking about the things you want to hear, so if you want to be the first to hear, like and subscribe and the bell and we'll cheer. Some of you are patrons, even though we are all the noobs and you're the pros, there's nothing we can do to thank you. No, really, there's nothing we could possibly do. Goodbye.